One. Welcome back to the Road to Omaha podcast, or should I say, welcome to, as this is our first episode. I'm Bry. I'm joined by Jacob over here, the LSU fanatic, the Hoss himself, the greatest of all time. And our buddy Ryan would be here, but unfortunately, he's got other stuff going on. But he's our statistician today, as he is feeding me and Jacob's stats in real time. We are going to be covering this weekend's insane series as SEC play started this weekend. So we'll talk about all the big games that have happened from Friday to tonight, and then we will cover Sunday's games tomorrow in tomorrow's podcast, and then we will start up again on Friday when the weekend series start up again. Jacob, I got to hear your thoughts on LSU as they started this series versus Vanderbilt. What are we thinking? Pitching, hitting? What are we thinking right now?
Um, Last night was crap. All y'all had to do was get one more freaking out, and then y'all would have won the game. But guess what? As soon as I parked my truck from coming back from the airport, guess what? He gave up a piss missile.
Oh boy. Well, I'll tell. I got to ask this because it was a close game. I can't remember the exact final score. It was like 13-11, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, we were down by 6, but we came back. But guess what? Now, last time I checked, we were down like 3-11.
That tonight, yes. As I checked, as of right now, in the top of the eighth inning, Vanderbilt is leading LSU 11-3 in Game 2 of the series. Now, it's been kind of an interesting story for LSU, particularly in their pitching staff. As you know, from what I've observed in the few LSU games that I've personally watched, you got a lot of power arms, especially out of that bullpen. I mean, it seems like half the bullpen's throwing over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
But I mean,
we don't throw
especially
strikes.
well, that's the first issue that I noticed. Y'all walk a lot of guys, and when y'all do throw something over the plate, I mean, the bullpen in particular has been getting smacked around like crazy.
Here's the thing I don't get with this team right now, because this is the same crap we done in 2024. We won the CWS, and then we started the season as a 2 seed like we did at the beginning of this season. Then we finished the season unranked.
Right.
Um, so I'm starting to think every time we win a championship, it jinxes our next season.
Well, I feel like part of the issue is, I mean, obviously y'all are going to have a lot of roster turnover. I mean, didn't Jared Jones go to the draft this year,
Yeah,
along with obviously Cade Anderson? He went in the
yeah.
first. I think he was like the number 7 overall pick, and he was your ace last year. He was y'all's Friday night starter. You know, he's with the Mariners spring training camp right now. If that's who he got drafted by, if I'm remembering correctly.
Jake Brown is doing fantastic, but it can't just be him. Like
Right.
Zach
Yeah,
York,
no.
like he's getting out of he's doing every time is a crucial situation. He finds a way to I don't know, just jinx it, bro.
Well, I think part of the issue is as well as I mean, y'all's starting rotation does not really have a defined, I guess, ace from what I've seen. I mean, I haven't really seen any standout guys in your starting rotation this year. I feel like once Cade Anderson left, and then who was y'all's Friday night starter in 24? It was Jump, I think it was his name.
I guess.
And I mean, he wasn't insane. He was pretty decent for a team that was rebuilding in 24. But I mean, y'all have insane talent this year. I mean, y'all reloaded more so rather than
Dude, our offense
rebuilt.
should be killing it right now, like we were doing at the beginning of the year, but now it seems like we're a month in, and then now we're just finding, oh yeah, let's have a fantastic March. I feel like February was good, and then March came around, and they were like, oh, let's find new ways to lose.
Well, I feel like part of the issue, as well as the main issue with LSU's hitting that I've seen,
I
they
think
can't hit with runners on base.
they cannot hit right now. Like
I mean, they can't
the
continue. I
second game
apologize.
with Omaha, not Omaha, Sacramento State. Like they waited
Hmm.
till the freaking eighth inning to score runs. And guess what? It
Well,
was it,
yeah.
it was 5-4 after
Hmm.
in the bottom of the ninth. One of the guys hit a piss missile, and then they couldn't do anything else after that. And then McNeese
Well,
game, we gave up 4 runs with 2 outs.
Mhm.
But
Okay, so what you're saying is, and this is also a personal observation that I made, y'all can't hit with runners on base, and y'all struggle with getting the third out on defense. And that's what I've noticed watching a lot of LSU games. They strand guys on base, and that's why their offense has gone dead in certain situations. They leave a lot of runners on base.
that, or I think Matt McMahon's baseball coach now.
That is a crazy statement. That's wild.
17 and
Okay,
55 in basketball conference career record at LSU, and then you just do with that.
bro,
Or
dude,
maybe we
LSU's.
have like them aliens from Space Jam suck out everybody's talent, like they did on Space Jam at the NBA game.
I mean, honestly, I mean, because LSU is an immensely talented team,
They
and
have They
yo,
had all the talent, but they just got sucked away by them aliens, man.
I mean, do you? I mean, obviously, I, this is kind of an interesting question because obviously the dude's won you two national championships as y'all's head coach. I mean, do you trust in Jay Johnson right
Um, I think he's just how successful he's been. I think he just doesn't. I think he obviously has said, and commentators have mentioned some of the stuff he's been saying about the defense and the offense and the pitching. Um,
now?
just he's just wanted to be better, but dude, you're the manager. Like I understand. I don't want to do drastic changes with the staff right now because
Right,
we're literally defending champions, and I
right, of
just feel like
course.
if we were to do that, then who are we going to get in return? But
Well, I mean,
if
yeah.
it's going to be this persistent, then Jay, this has got to. Then this is going to. I feel like if this is literally how the team's going to be this year, someone in the staff is getting fired.
Well, I feel like, I mean, obviously, it'd be really, really dumb to can Jay Johnson. The dude's won you two national championships. He's a
Yeah,
proven coach at the highest level, collegiate college of, collegiate baseball. And
yeah,
the dude's going to bounce back and he's probably going to take y'all to a
yeah,
regional anyways. He's still going to make the postseason. That I don't think there's
yeah,
any doubt in my mind about that. He's a good coach. So obviously, firing him would be very
yeah.
dumb,
That would be
but
stupid.
that'd be
But
the
I'm
dumbest thing
just saying
LSU
he's
could do in
kind
this
of not doing the
situation.
best right now. But obviously, we didn't really have streaks like this in 25. We didn't really have streaks like this in 23. Um, we didn't have streaks like this in 2017, and then the 2020, and then two of those three seasons we won the CWS. So
Right. Well, I feel like, I mean, eventually Johnson will make adjustments and the team will probably be fine in conference play. My take on Vanderbilt is they're just getting hot at the right time right now. I feel like come
yeah,
in a week and a half from now, give it one more weekend series, they're going to be ranked in the top 25.
I think they just care more than LSU does. I mean, oh, Jake Brown is, and like whenever I just don't notice anyone really who stands out. And like even at the beginning of the season, our offense was like some of the best in baseball, and now it's like some of the worst. But guess what? I don't think really any point of the season, we really had the pitching that we did during the previous
Right.
years.
Right. Well, which is ironic to say, considering that, I mean, y'all have all kinds of power arms. And I mean,
Yeah,
I noticed a lot of you guys throwing 95 plus. I mean, you got insane velo coming out of that staff.
they're not
It's just
striking out. They're not getting anybody out. They're giving up, and like the UL game a few weeks
oh
ago.
yeah.
Uh, we literally wasted Gidry, our best closer, um,
Hmm.
just to start and him for to give up multiple runs. We only scored 2 runs that game.
Jeez.
And the fact that I only had to drive it less than an hour just to watch that game, which I did not go to, which was the right choice because it was pouring rain earlier, and I was still wondering if they were still going to have the game.
Right. No, I mean LSU definitely the interesting case of the season, as start off the season ranked number two, had some of the most it had one of the biggest talent reloads, I would say, in college baseball, other than UCLA. UCLA retained a ton of their talent. That's why they're the number one ranked team in the nation, and they're proving why they're the number one ranked team in the nation. But uh, another thing I want to cover as SEC play begins, we'll be covering a lot of games in this.
Here's the thing
Uh,
with UCLA. I feel like I would have been my top five, but I think the competition they play just isn't that great. 'Cause I think Mississippi State or Texas could be one.
but you remember UCLA beat Mississippi State.
Oh, never mind.
UCLA had, I mean, they have some good wins. They've beaten my Aggies, who are ranked in the top 25.
They're definitely
They've
playing well, and they're definitely proving something. I think they're definitely playing better than they were at the beginning of the season.
Oh, the Aggies, this is obviously going to be slightly biased. We have a much better team compared to last year. It's Michael Early's second year as the head coach. Um, he's brought in some of his own guys, some of his own recruits. Jason Kelly has done a really good job, as the pitching coach with the pitching staff. Weston Moss, he had a really good outing today versus Oklahoma. Redeemed himself for his outing versus UCLA. Sendeo, our ace, his outing Friday night was not great, but the offense played well enough to where it kind of compensated for that. The issue of why we lost Friday night comes in Early's bullpen management after the Josh Stewart injury. Josh Stewart, as you know, is our 12th man. He's our best bullpen arm, and he was our closer. I'm pretty sure he just blew his elbow out last night as he came out of the game after throwing 4 pitches with an apparent arm injury. Um, Not good. At the time the game was tied, we were either up 7-6 or it was tied 7-7 at the time. I can't exactly remember, but it was I think the seventh inning when it happened. So Josh Stewart comes in, or he gets injured, and the bullpen management after that was atrocious. Um, we lost the game in the bottom of the eighth because we brought in Clayton Freshcorn, the freshman, who, you know, I got to give kudos to Clayton. He bounced back today because he was brought in again, bases loaded, nobody out. We were only up a run. He comes in, ground out, strikeout, ground out, gets 3 straight outs to strand the bases loaded to retain the lead. Dude was insanely clutch today. He actually pitched 3 full innings and finished the game for us. Fresh Corn was phenomenal tonight. Last night, though, he gave up an earned run. The bottom of the eighth inning, we ended up losing 8-7 in a thriller where there was also a benches clearing. I wouldn't. It wasn't a brawl. It was more so of a kind of a pissing contest between the two head coaches, Skip Johnson and Michael Early, as they were just screaming expletives at each other after
Mm.
a bat flip by an Oklahoma hitter in front of our dugout, which then just caused people's feelings to get hurt. I feel like Early could have reacted a lot better to the situation, but it is what it is. That series is now tied at 1. And this is against a good Oklahoma pitching staff that coming into this series was one of the best pitching staffs in the country statistically, and one of the best in the SEC. So our offense has been really good, and we've drawn a ton of walks. Um, we've been hitting with two. We hit with 2 strikes today, which was kind of our issue yesterday. I mean, we've been doing pretty good, and the bullpen overall, I've been impressed with the bullpen for the most part. Obviously, the Stewart injury is going to hurt a lot since he was our most clutch arm, but we don't know the severity of the Stewart injury as there hasn't been any updates since he was taken out of the game last night. We have currently no idea the severity of his arm injury. It could either be a strained muscle or it could be as extreme as a torn UCL,
Yep.
which would result in season-ending Tommy John surgery. Now, okay, the other thing I want to address: Texas game 1 versus an unranked Ole Miss up 7-3,
How the
top of the
heck does
ninth
that
inning.
happen?
Top of the ninth inning, they give up a game tying grand slam, and then they blow the game in extras to lose 9-8 in their opening SEC game.
They
What do we
played in
think of that?
Austin.
Yeah,
Okay, one thing I do like about Texas, I think this is like all sports, football, basketball, baseball, like everything. They do so good in the season just to chip it away at the end in the postseason when it really matters.
well, I mean that was proved last season whenever they lost their own regional to UTSA this past season, and if I remember correctly, they were a 3 seed, I think, in the tournament. I mean, they had a super high seeding. They hosted their own regional in first year under new head coach Jim Schlossnagel, who obviously, as you know, left A&M for Texas, took half the pitching staff or coaching staff with him, but almost took early, but early stayed, and he eventually became our head coach. But man, Schlossnagel, I mean, he's built a good pitching staff at Texas, but the offense has been kind of hit or miss, especially that first year. That was the main issue with Texas last year was just they didn't have a great offense. They didn't have a lot of pop.
Yeah, I think the Ole Miss game in Texas, I think the first game that was kind of funny. I think everybody was pretty much laughing that piece of California that's in Texas.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, I agree.
and everybody else was just, but it didn't really matter anyway because my LSU found a way to make everybody in South Louisiana upset, except UL fans and Tulane fans and McNeese fans
Oh yes, and don't forget Big Nice. Yes.
and Southern. I'm just naming all the D1 schools in that part of Louisiana in Cajun land. So
Yeah. I mean, LSU. Do you think that they should fall unranked if they get worst case scenario they get swept by Vandy?
I think I don't know if we should do that yet, but I think honestly it's a miracle that they're still ranked. Because we have plenty. I don't know how we're not scoring at least 5 runs a game. It feels like the games where we score less than 4 runs a game is just appalling. Even the games we were winning back against Dartmouth and stuff, like I just like 3-1, we were only scoring 3 runs, and yet we were somehow what bull. The bullpen cannot just do it. I mean, bullpen can't put the runs on the board. The hitters put the runs on the board. You can't score. You can't run. You can't win a
Right.
game with 0 runs.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that statement. They say in football, defense wins championships, but I mean, in baseball, you can't win purely off of pitching. And Texas last year was a perfect example. They had a great pitching staff, but because of how anemic their offense was at times, that lost them the regional versus UTSA.
And
And
then
that was the thing about it.
with football, yeah, we have Arkansas. Like they had no defense, and they had like the best offense or some of the best offense in college football, and
Oh
yet
yeah,
they had no defense.
yeah. No, Arkansas football was an interesting case. They had probably the best scoring offense in the SEC just to go. I think it was 2-10, which is crazy to say. But since they had the highest scoring offense, but I mean, back on the baseball, I don't know. I think LSU will be fine in the long run, but I'll tell you, a team that I'm surprised is still ranked, TCU. How in the world are
How
they
is
still ranked?
TCU ranked?
How are they still ranked in the top
Are they like
20?
what 9-4 or something? Last time they
They're
like 4 games over.
they're 11-6, and as it stands right now, and I checked this about 20 minutes
The
ago, it was the
Big
top of the fourth.
12. No one cares about the Big 12 in baseball. Like,
Well,
is
they
there?
were
I don't
losing
know
9-4
anybody
to
in the Big
Arizona
12.
to an unranked Arizona State team.
Yeah, and y'all
It
got
was the fourth
Baylor.
inning.
Did
Dude,
they
Baylor
beat?
lost to Tarleton State a week
Yeah, they
ago.
lost to Tarleton State a few weeks ago. Like they had a good start to the state, yeah, to the season. Yeah, they had that one player that hit 3 grand slams in a game on opening
Right,
day,
yeah.
and then and then they just went Baylor mode and did Baylor things and lose.
To be, I guess to play devil's advocate for Tarleton, they are a pretty good mid-major this year. They've got a great pitching staff this year. The offense is kind of hit or miss, but I mean, you can see me wearing the Tarleton hat. But
Mm.
Tarleton's a decent mid-major. However, Baylor in their game versus Tarleton, where they went to Stephenville to play Tarleton, it was definitely a situation where they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. There were many situations where they could have just blown the game open, multiple situations where they had the bases loaded.
Like Yankees
And
playoff games,
yeah, basically.
like the 2024 World Series Game 5, or the 2022 ALCS Game 4, or the 2025 ALDS Game 4, because
I mean,
those pretty much benefited from errors.
well, it wasn't even that. It's just Baylor, they couldn't score with runners on base. They couldn't knock runners in. They were stranding people. It was, I mean, some of the most atrocious hitting with runners on base that I've seen in a long time. Baylor is always anemic at baseball, it seems like. They
Baylor
haven't made
Baylor's just, when was the last time they went to Omaha? Like,
2005, if I'm remembering correctly.
so it was before both of us were born.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Uh, Give me just one second, Jacob. I think so. Ollie's my shirt hung up.
Okay.
Just one moment. What are you doing, Ollie? Is my white shirt in there, Ollie? Mm-hmm. Oh, Jacob, my nana says hi.
Yeah.
He said hey. I'm wearing my suit, so it's fine. Thank you. Now, back to Baylor. Okay. Historically, if I'm remembering this, and you or Ryan can fact check me. You can text the group chat and tell Ryan to fact check me on this. I think Baylor historically has only made three Omaha appearances.
Let me see.
I know one of them was in the 70s and the other was 2005.
I texted on the I texted it and
Yeah.
LSU predictably loses third game third consecutive 2 game losing streak. They lose to Vanderbilt 3-11 because they completely forgot how to hit the ball and pitch.
They just forgot to do everything.
Because it's not, if it's 11 runs, it's not just an offensive problem. It is also a pitching problem. And three
Yo,
runs
for
isn't going
sure.
to do it either. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And honestly, I feel like if we're talking about the best teams in the SEC right now, I mean, the team to be in the SEC right now is Mississippi State. I mean, I feel like that's
Yeah, it's three.
Mississippi
It's 3 appearances for Baylor.
three three appearances for Baylor. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, I remember that right off the top of my dome. But I mean, the teams to beat in the SEC right now are Mississippi State, Texas, and I would even say throw Texas A&M in there. Texas A&M's been playing really really good,
Yeah, they have.
and we've kind of gone under the radar a little bit because we start off the season number one, and then we didn't even make the postseason. But I feel like I like that we're under the radar because then it doesn't put as much attention upon us and we just go out there, we play ball, we perform. And if we can take the series versus Oklahoma, I mean, our ranking will skyrocket. We'll be into the top 20 easy because, I mean, the ranking committee cannot ignore a top 10 series win on the road versus a really good Oklahoma team who has arguably the best pitching staff in the SEC.
And
I
we
mean,
don't have them
that's
too much longer later. I think we have Grambling on Tuesday at home. And if we somehow lose that game, that'll be hilarious. But out and now our since our record is now 13-7, um we've been 2-6 the last 8 games. And we Oklahoma's coming up and we got even tougher teams and we just got yeah, it's not, if this is how we're
it's
gonna
not.
be in conference play, then y'all gotta step it up a notch. I'm sorry. Like, I know the Dodgers like were real inconsistent at times in the regular season, but they ended up winning the World Series, and we all laughed at the Blue Jays whenever they lost. And we're wondering if they win a third one in a
Oh
row,
yeah,
if there's going to be a lockout. If
I feel like there's going to be a lockout no matter if they do or don't three-peat. My take on it, and I've explained this to Ryan uh previously. There needs to be a salary floor, not a salary cap. Because what a salary floor will do is it'll force the smaller market teams with the rich owners to actually spend.
I'm starting to think, yeah, I'm starting to think like it's a spending issue. Like, if you're not going to spend on players, then why are you going to complain about? Like, I think it's more of a I think there needs to be like requirements for some of the cheapskate richer
Like
owners
John
of
Fisher.
teams. Yeah, except John
I mean,
Fisher, except that John Fisher has a pea-sized brain. So
I mean, it's that whole situation is a dumb thing all in itself, but it's just this whole situation was caused purely because no none of the other rich owners in the smaller market teams wanted to spend money, right? The Rays didn't want to spend money. The A's, despite John Fisher being a literal billionaire, did not want to spend money. So the Dodgers just said, "Cool, no one else is spending money. We will." It's not the Dodgers' fault that they finally just, they took advantage of the opportunity that was presented upon them. No one else wanted to spend money, so they did, and it's worked for them. They've won two straight World Series.
and then we have the Yankees, who are the wealthiest team in the MLB, doing the same freaking thing. Except they don't win World Series anymore because I feel like the fans jinx them every time, and yet we know how the
Right,
Yankees are in the playoffs.
right, exactly. What's
That
up,
tw-
Mom?
that 2024, they got bailed in. I swear they, but there looked like there were some calls for the umpires that could have.
What's up,
And
Mom?
Dodgers have it had it
Talking
easy
to
in the
Jacob.
2024 World Series.
My mom says hi.
All right,
He says hi. Oh,
hey. the
okay.
I just
Well, it's just I don't think Aaron Boone's a good postseason manager. Is the thing.
yeah.
I don't know. He's the best way I can describe Aaron Boone. He's like the Brian Kelly of Major League Baseball.
Hmm.
He has so much, and he does so little with so much. Or actually, I think a better comparison would be like Jimbo Fisher, but Jimbo Fisher was just bad. I mean, he had a amazing recruiting class in 22, and he didn't do anything with it. But back on the college ball, Mississippi State and Arkansas. That's been a good series. Top 10 series. Arkansas takes the first game off of a walk-off home run. Second game, Mississippi State bounces back. They win 7-2. That's been a pretty even series. Both teams deserving of their ranking, if you ask me, especially Mississippi State, because they almost beat the number one team in the country. I mean, they took UCLA down to the absolute wire whenever they played each other in Arlington. Great game. Mississippi State's a great team. I think they're one of the more complete teams in the Southeastern Conference. Um, and if we're talking about, teams most likely to appear in Omaha, if the postseason were to start right now, I'd probably say Mississippi State would be one of those teams.
Yeah, Mississippi
Uh,
State, UCLA.
for sure.
Um, would Texas be on there?
I don't know because Texas,
I would
they're
say
chokers.
just I would assume I would put Texas in, even though it feels like the more a team loses, the more they learn. Because never seems like an undefeated team ever. Seems like the team with the best record never really wins anything.
Yeah. Well, man, it's like, especially 1 and 2 seeds in college baseball. It's so hard to even win as a 1 and 2 seed in college baseball. In the last 25 years, the only one seed that has actually won the College World Series was Tennessee back in 2024. And before that, it was Miami in, I think, 1999. There, so in the last 26 years, 27 years, there's been only two one seeds that have actually won the College World Series. Now, to give credit to Tennessee, that Tennessee team, because I mean, my Aggies played them in the finals. That is one of the greatest college baseball teams of all time, if you ask me. Talent everywhere. Pitching talent was crazy. They had a great rotation. Their bullpen was great, but their lineup, oh my gosh, Christian Moore, Blake Burke, uh, man, just that lineup was crazy. Those were the two names I can name right off the top of my head. I mean, that lineup was just nuts. And I mean, Christian Moore destroyed us. I mean, especially game three versus Justin Lampkin, he smacked him around. And if you ask me, we should have not started Prager game one. I feel like what we should have done is flip flopped Lampkin and Prager. If I feel like if Prager started game three, we would have inevitably won the College World Series. But it's almost 2 years ago now.
I think bullpens really do the trick, but overall, I think like with LSU, I feel like I don't think we're ever really going to get another Paul Skeens. But we got to get someone close to at least a little closer to him, like Cade
like
Anderson.
like Kate Anderson last
Yeah.
year. That's right.
Um, and because we're back with the Miami thing in '99, and then us beating them in the CWS 3 years before on the Warren Morris home run. Um, in '96. It's just if LSU wants to win a ninth title this year, then y'all got to fix y'all's bullpen. And well, y'all got to fix everything. But
Well,
overall,
their bullpen just needs to figure out how to get the third out. That's the thing that they've been struggling with. They just
yeah,
cannot get out of innings.
LSU just strands runners.
Well, yeah, that's been the problem with their offense. They leave runners on base, especially in scoring position. It's crazy.
And I feel like um in Arkansas, another example is Arkansas. How they, I there were some games that Arkansas felt like they were on the verge of the abyss too.
Dude, Arkansas in the College World Series semifinals last year
Oh yeah,
against
that
LSU, they stole defeat from the jaws of victory. They were one out away. I cannot remember what exactly happened. I think it was a missed fly ball
yeah, it
in
was a
left field.
missed fly ball. He tripped. But honestly, here's the thing. That was not that would have that wasn't the only blunder. He that double play could have been made before. Like
Oh,
he literally just
absolutely.
threw it to third base. He literally had that double play. He wasn't even in the picture. The person running to first base. Like
Well, yeah, and
Arkansas legit
yeah.
fell off.
Well, they just made really bad defensive mistakes in the, and then Jared Jones came up and hit the walk off single. I mean, it was just the most poorly timed set of defensive mishaps by Arkansas. That team was good enough to win it all. Had they
If
played Coastal Carolina, I think they would have blown the brakes off of Coastal Carolina.
and then with Arkansas, whenever if they made the double play, no, they would have had another game.
They would have forced the game seven. Yes, they would have forced a winner take all game in the semifinals. But because they had the pitching to do it, they certainly had the offense.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, their pitching was ridiculous last year. Zach Root, Gage Wood. Oh my goodness! I mean,
And the
Gage
no
Wood
hitter
in
they threw.
particular, the 19K no hitter versus Murray State. I mean, their 1-2 punch in the starting rotation was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Zach Root, in second place in the SEC in strikeouts, and he throwing 98 miles an hour out of that funky windup, and he had a 5 pitch repertoire. He went deep into ball games. I mean, it was crazy Arkansas, how that Arkansas team did not win a national title. It's nuts.
And also as a 6-E win, it um I think was pretty fucking awesome. I mean, the first game, we should have scored more than one run, but I'll take the victory. Kate Anderson pitched a fucking gym.
Oh yeah, he did. He absolutely did. Yeah. And then
Shutout baseball at its peak. I mean, the
you
offense
gotta
was a
remember.
non-existent, but that didn't really matter because we won the game, and then we ended up becoming undefeated in Omaha.
Well, I mean, the thing is with that as well as the game too, y'all's offense was very timely. Y'all had timely hits,
Yeah,
and y'all took advantage with runners in scoring position. And give credit to Coastal Carolina, they kept it close both games. However, their offense just could not score when they absolutely needed to,
I
which is
think
a
a
shame.
13 seed going to the finals is pretty impressive, honestly.
Well, yeah, that and you know, game one, I bet you remember this. Their starting pitcher also threw a gem. He
Yeah,
was, other than that first inning, he was untouchable.
if your bullpen gives up only one run, that's also phenomenal.
Well, I mean, their bullpen shut out LSU, but because their offense was so anemic, and their offense, Coastal Carolina's offense in the 25 World Series made so many stupid base running errors. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. I went back and watched the highlights a couple days ago just to refresh my memory before, coming up with this podcast because I knew that, that would inevitably get brought up. Their base running that College World Series was so atrocious. Oh my gosh. It was so bad. I'm sorry, Coastal Carolina fans. The base running that series, especially game one, was terrible. It was bad. Oh, just and then game two, their coach getting ejected. I feel like
Yeah, I remember that.
killed them in the end. I'm pretty sure it was because he was arguing balls and strikes. But I don't know. Now, other teams in the SEC I wanted to mention: Tennessee, not off to a bad start with the new head coach.
19th seed. That's still a ranked team.
They're doing pretty good for themselves with the new head coach, considering that Tony Vitello, as most people know, left for he took the San Francisco Giants managerial job. Um,
Georgia's off to a pretty good start.
yeah, no, Tennessee's off to a fair start, considering the circumstances.